Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you felt uneasy, drained, or even threatened by someone's presence? Do you sometimes question whether the people in your life have your best interests at heart? It's an unsettling thought, but the reality is that not everyone we encounter has pure intentions. In fact, some individuals may be downright evil, and their presence can have a profound negative impact on our lives. But how can we identify these people? What are the signs that we should look out for? In this video, we'll delve into 8 clear indicators that you might be dealing with an evil person, and we'll explore ways to protect yourself from their harmful influence. One of the most telling signs of an evil person is their complete lack of empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, to put oneself in someone else's shoes. It's a crucial component of healthy relationships, allowing us to connect with others on a deeper level and offer support when needed. However, evil individuals often display a stunning absence of empathy. They may be cold, callous, and utterly indifferent to the emotions and experiences of those around them. When you're interacting with someone who lacks empathy, you may notice that they have difficulty understanding your perspective or showing genuine concern for your well-being. They may brush off your feelings, minimize your struggles, or even mock your pain. This lack of empathy can be particularly jarring when you're going through a difficult time and in need of support. Instead of offering comfort or understanding, an evil person may respond with apathy, dismissiveness, or even cruelty. It's important to recognize that a lack of empathy is not always indicative of evil intent. Some people may struggle with empathy due to developmental disorders, trauma, or other factors. However, when a lack of empathy is coupled with other concerning behaviors, it can be a red flag that you're dealing with someone who has a malicious nature. Another common trait of evil individuals is their propensity for manipulation and control. These people often have a deep-seated need to exert power over others, and they'll resort to various tactics to achieve this goal. Manipulation can take many forms, from subtle guilt-tripping to overt emotional blackmail. Evil people may use your vulnerabilities, fears, or desires against you, twisting them to serve their own agendas. One particularly insidious form of manipulation is gaslighting. This is a psychological tactic in which the manipulator attempts to make you question your own reality, memories, or perceptions. They may deny events that you know occurred, accuse you of being too sensitive or irrational, or even rewrite history to paint themselves in a more favorable light. Over time, gaslighting can erode your self-confidence and make you doubt your own judgment, leaving you more susceptible to further manipulation. It's crucial to be aware of these manipulation tactics and to trust your instincts when something feels off. If you find yourself constantly second-guessing your own thoughts and feelings, or if you feel like you're always walking on eggshells around someone, it may be a sign that you're being manipulated. Remember, healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, trust, and open communication, not on control and coercion. Honesty is the foundation of any strong relationship, whether it's with a romantic partner, a friend, or a colleague. We rely on others to be truthful with us, to share information openly, and to follow through on their commitments. However, evil people often have a strained relationship with the truth. They may lie frequently, withhold important details, or twist facts to suit their own narratives. Consistent dishonesty can take many forms, from small white lies to elaborate deceptions. Evil individuals may fabricate entire stories to gain sympathy, admiration, or advantages. They may also lie by omission, conveniently leaving out key pieces of information that could paint them in a negative light. Over time, these lies can create a web of deceit that becomes increasingly difficult to untangle. It's important to note that occasional dishonesty doesn't necessarily make someone evil. We all tell white lies from time to time to spare someone's feelings or to avoid awkward situations. However, when dishonesty becomes a consistent pattern, when it's used to manipulate or exploit others, it's a major red flag. If you find yourself constantly catching someone in lies or feeling like you can't trust a word they say, it's time to reevaluate the relationship. One of the most disturbing characteristics of evil people is their tendency to derive pleasure from others' misfortune. This phenomenon, known as Schadenfreude, is a German term that translates to harm joy. It describes the feeling of satisfaction or delight that some people experience when they witness or hear about someone else's troubles or failures. Evil individuals may take a perverse joy in seeing others suffer, whether it's through personal setbacks, professional failures, or even physical pain. They may actively seek out opportunities to undermine others' success, sabotage their efforts, or kick them when they're down. This behavior can be subtle, such as a smirk when someone shares bad news, or more overt, like outright celebrating someone's misery. It's important to recognize that enjoying others' misfortune is not a healthy or normal response. Most people feel empathy and compassion when they see others struggling, and they may even go out of their way to offer support or assistance. When someone consistently displays Schadenfreude, it's a troubling sign that they lack basic human decency and may even harbor malicious intent. Taking responsibility for one's actions is a sign of maturity and integrity. It's about owning up to our mistakes, learning from them, and striving to do better in the future. However, evil people often have a difficult time with this concept. Instead of acknowledging their own faults or missteps, they may resort to blaming others or deflecting responsibility. When something goes wrong, an evil person may be quick to point the finger at anyone but themselves. They may accuse others of sabotaging their efforts, making them look bad, or causing the problem in the first place. This blame game can be incredibly frustrating and demoralizing for those on the receiving end, as they may find themselves constantly on the defensive, trying to prove their innocence. Evil individuals may also use deflection tactics to avoid taking responsibility. They may change the subject when confronted with their own wrongdoing, or they may attempt to shift the focus onto someone else's faults or shortcomings. This type of behavior can create a toxic dynamic in relationships, where one person is always expected to shoulder the blame while the other remains blameless. It's crucial to hold others accountable for their actions and to expect them to take responsibility when they've made mistakes. If someone consistently refuses to own up to their faults or tries to pin the blame on others, it's a red flag that they may have a more sinister nature. Cruelty and aggression are perhaps the most overt signs of an evil person. These individuals may display a disturbing lack of regard for the well-being of others, and they may even take pleasure in causing harm, whether it's physical, emotional, or psychological. Evil people may engage in bullying, harassment, or intimidation tactics to assert their dominance over others. They may use insults, put-downs, or threats to make others feel small or powerless. In extreme cases, they may even resort to physical violence or abuse to maintain control or to punish those who don't comply with their demands. It's important to recognize that cruelty and aggression are never acceptable, no matter the context. Everyone deserves to feel safe, respected, and valued in their relationships and interactions with others. If someone consistently displays cruel or aggressive behavior, it's a clear sign that they are not a safe or healthy person to be around. Remorse is a powerful emotion that helps us recognize when we've caused harm and motivates us to make amends. It's a sign of empathy, as it demonstrates that we understand the impact of our actions on others and that we feel genuine regret for any pain we may have caused. However, evil people often display a stunning lack of remorse for their hurtful behavior. When confronted with the consequences of their actions, evil individuals may shrug off the harm they've caused or even double down on their cruelty. They may refuse to apologize, or if they do offer an apology, it may be insincere or conditional. They may try to justify their behavior, minimize the damage they've done, or even blame the victim for their own suffering. This lack of remorse can be incredibly damaging to those on the receiving end of an evil person's actions. It can leave them feeling invalidated, unheard, and unsupported. It can also make it difficult to heal from the hurt and move forward in a positive way. It's important to remember that true remorse involves more than just words. It requires a genuine acknowledgement of wrongdoing, a commitment to change, and a willingness to make amends. If someone consistently shows a lack of remorse for their hurtful behavior, it's a sign that they may not be capable of the kind of growth and change necessary for a healthy relationship. Envy and resentment are toxic emotions that can eat away at the soul and poison relationships. While it's natural to feel a twinge of envy from time to time, evil people often harbor intense, persistent feelings of envy and resentment towards others' success, happiness, or good fortune. This envy may manifest as a constant need to compare oneself to others, to belittle their achievements, or to undermine their efforts. Evil individuals may feel threatened by others' success, seeing it as a personal affront or a reminder of their own perceived shortcomings. They may even go out of their way to sabotage others' progress or to tear them down in order to feel better about themselves. Resentment, on the other hand, is a bitter, long-lasting anger that can arise from a sense of injustice or unfairness. Evil people may nurse resentments for years, holding grudges over perceived slights or wrongs. They may seek revenge or retribution, even if the original offense was minor or unintentional. It's important to recognize that envy and resentment are corrosive emotions that can damage not only relationships, but also one's own mental and emotional well-being. If someone consistently displays these traits, if they seem to be constantly comparing themselves to others or harboring bitterness and anger, it's a sign that they may have a more malevolent nature. Dealing with an evil person can be a deeply unsettling and emotionally draining experience. These individuals can leave us feeling confused, hurt, and even questioning our own judgment. However, by learning to recognize the signs of an evil person, we can better protect ourselves from their harmful influence and make informed choices about the people we allow into our lives. Remember, the 8 signs we've discussed: lack of empathy, manipulation and control, consistent dishonesty, enjoying others' misfortune, blaming and deflecting responsibility, cruelty and aggression, lack of remorse, and envy and resentment are not an exhaustive list. Evil can manifest in many ways, and it's important to trust your instincts when something feels off or wrong in a relationship. It's also crucial to remember that you have the power to choose the people you surround yourself with. You deserve relationships that are built on mutual respect, trust, and compassion. Don't be afraid to set boundaries, to speak up when something doesn't feel right, and to walk away from toxic or harmful situations. Ultimately, the goal is not to live in fear or suspicion of others, but rather to cultivate a strong sense of self and a deep trust in your own judgment. By learning to recognize the signs of an evil person, and by prioritizing your own well-being and safety, you can create a life filled with positive, supportive relationships and a deep sense of inner peace. So as you navigate the complexities of human interaction, remember to stay true to yourself, to trust your instincts, and to always strive for the highest good. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, who inspire you to be your best self, and who bring light and love into your life. Together, we can create a world where evil has no place, and where goodness, compassion, and true connection reign supreme.